Hey coaches. Okay, so today we are going to talk income. One of the topics that most coaches they want to learn the income portion now, and you want to build income, you want to build a team, you want to figure out how you can get that financial freedom and finally see those financial rewards that we all talk about here within our team. That the financial freedom is something so significant, and anyone can reach the financial goals. So I'm excited to share with you guys um, what we're talking about when it comes down to breaking down your paycheck. When we talk about volume, when we talk about your strong leg, your weak leg, we talk about cycle bonuses. And I'm sure you guys go like, oh, okay, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? So bear with me, but have a piece of paper, you guys. This is a training portion that you are going to want to take notes. I'm going to try and explain this in a way that you can easily understand, but this is also usually one of the trainings you have to watch a couple of times. So bear with me. Like I said, grab a piece of paper, take some notes. I won't take that long. I'll make it short and sweet. But this is also a training that you are going to have to practice implementing. That when you are looking at your Coach Online office or your back office, which hopefully in training one, our very first day, you got acclimated to your back office and how to run your website. That will make this a little bit easier. So, volume is so important for our business. Volume is essentially income. So, we need to understand the value. We need to understand why we want it and how we get it. So let me screen share here, and you guys are going to be able to see my PowerPoint. Let me get it pulled up. Alrighty. I gotta move around a little bit. I have way too many screens open. Bear with me as I get this pulled over. Okay. So let me get all the way back up to the top here. All right. So, volume. Okay. Like I said, bear with me. Get a piece of paper out, get a pen, tell the kids to quiet down, grab the hubby, grab a glass of wine if you need it for this portion, but because it's not super easy. So let's talk volume. A little bit of volume. You have PV. I'm going to make this short and sweet. You have PV, TV, RV, LV. What the heck, right? Okay. So we'll break it down a little bit. PV, personal volume. So personal volume, you guys, is anything that you sell personally, anything that you directly sell as a coach. So when I go out and I'm selling a challenge pack, or if I go out and I sell just a Beachbody on Demand membership, or I sell Shakeology, I sell Energize, whatever it is that I am personally selling to new customers is personal volume, okay? So again, personal volume, anything that you as the coach sell. Moving on to team volume. So what the heck is team volume? So team volume is anything that your team sells. So anything that your personally sponsored coaches sell and anything that their coaches sell. So anything in your downline that is sold by other coaches other than yourself, that counts towards your team volume. So when you're shopping and you're looking at the teambeachbody.com and you're looking at the products and it has a PV next to it underneath the product, so like Shakeology is 90 PV, that is the personal volume that we are talking about that counts into play with your personal volume and your team volume. So when you're looking at those numbers and you're seeing those and wondering what the heck those are, that's what that is. Then you have the right leg and you have the left leg. So we are talking here strong leg of your team versus the weak leg of your team. Now, this is where you really have to pay attention and listen up. The strong leg is not always your right. It's not always your left. The weak leg is not always your right. It's not always your left. That can intertwine. That can actually change on a week-to-week basis. But your strong leg is the leg that your coach helps you build. So wherever you fall in her downline, that leg is going to build a little bit stronger. So if you're on the left side of my downline, my left side of my business is going to help you build your left side. So your right side, since you're not on my right side, is your own working leg, which is super confusing, but we will break this down. So anyways, so how do you determine which one is strong and which one is weak when it comes down to a right leg and a left leg? So whichever leg has the highest number is the strongest volume. Obviously, that's going to be your strong leg. So if you have 600 volume on your right leg and you only have 200 on your left, obviously during that week's payout, your right leg is your strong leg. Again, we try to make this consistent. We try to have always the same leg being the strongest, but sometimes it varies, okay? You try to have control in it, but it will vary. So whenever, you're like, oh my gosh, which one's my strong leg? It can change week to week. That's when we have to pull up your Coach Online office and just take a look. But again, the way you place your coaches can help you control your strong leg. You want to place coaches under you in the furthest outside position so that they can cycle, they can help you build your team. And that's something that will help you guys learn. I'm not going to cover that in today's training. That's something that we will work with you one-on-one. I just want to talk the basics today. So again, your strong leg is typically the leg your upline is helping you build. And your weak leg is the one that you are building on your own. Again, we're not going to get too in detail on that today because I don't want to overwhelm you. I just want to teach you the basics of earning income. So volume, it's created through sales. Essentially, volume is directly through sales. When you're new, it is easier to think of volume as dollars, okay? Every dollar sold is worth X amount of volume. It's not dollar for dollar with volume, so that's when it gets a little tricky because volume varies. So just because it says 90 PV does not mean it equals $90. Whatever is sold, again, like I said earlier, Beachbody puts a volume amount on that dollar amount. So for example, again, 90 PV for Shakio is 90 personal volume. Again, each product varies and you can find those numbers underneath the products when you're shopping and when you're looking at orders. So aside earning, you guys, 25% commission on your personal sales, we also earn commission from team cycles. So we'll get into that a little bit here, but why is volume so valuable? Because volume equals income. The higher your volume every week, the higher your paycheck. So if you're sitting at 40 PV for the week or your volume is just absolutely nothing, your paycheck probably isn't going to be that high, especially as a new coach. As a new coach, you're really right now, until you get a team built, your income is directly based upon making those sales. So getting 25% commission off of the personal sales that you are selling. So, who contributes to my volume? Volume is created by every coach that you personally sponsor, like I said, and any of the coaches placed in your downline. They have to be placed on the same leg as you, but they essentially are going to help you build your income. So teamwork makes a dream work. We all help each other's paychecks out. So if one coach is slacking, that could potentially hurt your income if they are in your downline. So how is volume income? So each time your right or your right leg volume and your left leg volume equal a 2-to-1 ratio, you cycle one time, okay? Rank really plays a role in this. We'll get into that a little bit, but basically you have to have a 200 to 100 volume ratio every single time. So every time you hit 100 volume or dollars on your weak leg to 200 volume or dollars on your strong leg, you're gonna cycle once. And each time this pattern is repeated, you cycle again. Okay, and we're going to get into, you know, what's the cycle worth, but I just want to explain to you what cycling is. Rank, like I said, is what determines the value. So how much income you're getting per cycle. So rank is what determines the value of how much income you can make off of each cycle. Each time you cycle, based on your volume being a 2-to-1 ratio, it pays out, again, depending on how high you are in rank. So that's why we really talk about getting the emerald and getting you higher up in rank so that we can help you earn income a little bit faster. So the total amount of cycles you earn in a week is called a team bonus. And, you know, this is just one little section of your weekly paycheck, you guys. You have commission, you have subscription orders. So a subscription order is if a person signs up and does like Beachbody On Demand membership, whether they do it quarterly or annually. When that annually membership comes up, that's a subscription order and you get commission based off of that order. You get, like I said, team bonuses, you get matching bonuses, you get fast track bonuses when you sign up new coaches. You know, there's so many ways to earn income, but cycle bonuses that we are going to talk about here is by far, you guys, the most lucrative way to earn income. Like this is a solid, stable, every week kind of deal that I really want you guys hitting right out of the gate. So the total amount of cycles you can earn every week based upon the total volume on your left leg and your right leg, again, is called the team bonus. So here's a little bit of a kind of, I don't know what you want to call it, pyramid, so I can show you guys. So if you're looking, you have the left leg and the right leg. So if you're looking at the screen, the right leg you have 3 coaches. So the circles are going to represent the coaches, okay? So basically this is kind of what it looks like when you hit emerald. So you have 3 coaches on each leg. On the right leg, you have 2 coaches that each had 100 PV, okay? On the left leg, you have 1 coach that had 100 PV. 2 other coaches on that side didn't produce anything. That's a 2-to-1 ratio, okay? See how it equally balances out? So then you would cycle one time, if that makes any sense for you. I hope I'm not like losing anyone. So anyways, so how to calculate cycles. So we're going to take the leg with the most volume, okay, which is your strong leg. You're going to divide that by 2. And this is the maximum time you potentially could cycle if your weak leg was producing at least half that number. So I hope I'm not losing anyone yet. I'm kind of scrolling through my notes. I took some notes for this video so that I didn't lose anyone. What else did I have for you at this point? But getting back to like the last slide with, here, I'll go back a second. So basically, you guys, this is, like I said, this is kind of what it looks like when you hit emerald. So when you have 2 working coaches underneath you, 1 on your left leg, 1 on your right leg, and they are producing. And this is when cycle bonuses really start to apply to you. And this is why we preach emerald. This is why we preach rank. And it's not just to see you guys rank advance. Again, like I said, it's so we can see you guys do that income so that you can get that financial aspect coming in and make you want to work the business even harder. You know, up until emerald, it's strictly just income from commission only, and that's so hard. And this is why emerald is, again, like I said, is so important. But this is basically like a tier structure to kind of show you that this is an ideal situation. This is the like picture perfect situation that we want you guys to be seeing in your downline. Again, the circles represent the coaches. it's pretty self-explanatory. I don't know how else to explain it like anymore besides this is the perfect situation that you want. You always want a 2-to-1 ratio. So anyway, so back to like how to calculate your cycles. So like I said, you're always going to take the leg. And I know I'm kind of repeating myself a little bit, but I feel like this is the type of training that I have to repeat myself. So you hear it a few different ways. So you also are taking some good notes. But again, you take the leg with the most volume, which is your strong leg. You divide that by 2. Again, like I said, this is going to give you the maximum amount of times that you can potentially cycle if your weak leg is producing at least half of what is on your strong leg. Again, it has to be at least half of what's on your strong leg to get that perfect 2-to-1 ratio. So right now, a way to make this applicable is, again, go to your Coach Online office. On the homepage, you're going to go to your volume, and you're going to go to the online office, and you're going to see the total volume and where you're at right now. Now, if you're a new coach just starting out, you don't have any sales yet, it's hard I can't really give you any numbers because you're not going to have any volume to look at. But I really want you guys to make it a goal to get your weak leg to at least half the volume of what's on your strong leg every single week. So if you have 600 volume on your strong leg, I want you to make it a goal to get 300 on your weak leg. Make it a goal, like I said, to get that perfect 2-to-1 ratio. So a little bit of, I think I'm missing a slide. No, this is about right. So what I'm going to do here is, this is an example of a Coach Online office with their volume. So you can see at the top here, you got some pretty high volume numbers, which is where I really want you guys to be. So obviously you can see this left leg here is typically, this is obviously this coach's strong leg, okay? You go to the right leg, this is obviously their weaker leg because the volume is higher on the left. You guys can see that there. So what I want you guys to do is look all the way down at the bottom here where you have a 220 volume on your left to 45 volume on your right. Okay, we're seeing that here. So this is when it gets tricky. This person, if you just have 220 on your left to 45 on your right, there's not a 200-to-100 ratio. There's not a 2-to-1 ratio. So you're not going to cycle, right? So you lose out on money. But here's the tricky part. If you look the week before, this coach has 200 on their left, 350 on their right. So if you can't fully cycle and you have extra volume from the week before, which is called carryover volume. So this extra volume, so they have 350 volume. We really needed 400 because it has to equal half of this 200 in order to cycle at least once. We really needed 400 to make that perfect 2-to-1 ratio. So what happens is that extra volume gets carried over to this next week. So what's awesome about this, you guys, is you don't ever lose your volume. You don't ever lose those numbers. So just because you don't have that perfect 2-to-1 ratio does not mean you just go to 0 and you lose that volume that was sitting there. That gets rolled over to the next week, and it gets rolled over again, and it gets rolled over again. That's called carryover volume, where eventually you're gonna have basically extra free money sitting there to cash out when you have that perfect 2-to-1 ratio. So like I said, the income portion can get kind of tricky. So if you do happen to have any questions or you feel lost, watch this again. I do have another training video that I want to get uploaded so you guys can watch that too. But reach out to your upline. We can work with you one-on-one and really get you guys to understand the income portion. But so let's move on to cycling. So we talked about cycling and why you need to cycle, but let's talk about how much each cycle is worth. So this is when rank advancement really plays a role. So up here, you see you have Emerald, Ruby, Diamond, and Star Diamond. So as an Emerald coach, every time you cycle, so every time you get that 2-to-1 ratio, you get $14. Now, this doesn't sound like a whole lot right now, but I'm going to explain it here and show you some more examples here in a little bit, and you're going to think, oh my God, like the income is here. If you're a Ruby coach, you make $16 per cycle. When you hit Diamond and Star Diamond, you hit $18 per cycle. So again, you're thinking, well, that's not really much, but it adds up really quickly. So, why do we want you to be all the way up here to Diamond? When you think about it, we want you to earn at your highest potential. This is the place of most potential for coaches to make that income. And, as a new coach, you may only cycle 1 or 2 times, and it's not something you just work on overnight. This is not something that you as a new coach are going to be cycling like crazy in that first month. It's not going to happen. But this is something that you guys have to work on every single day so we can get you to that place of most potential. But again, the important part of about this cycle bonus is it's just that. This is simply extra income. It's a bonus, you guys, that you get paid out on a weekly basis. It's not commission. It's not subscription orders. It's nothing else. It's on top of what you are already making as a coach. These are weekly bonuses that you are getting. Not monthly, not quarterly, weekly bonuses every Thursday. So I kind of give you or laid it out here. So, as an Emerald rank, if you cycled 3 times in a week, that's $42 just in cycle bonuses. Same with Ruby, $48. Same with Diamond, Star Diamond, that's $54 a week just as a bonus. And it doesn't seem like a lot, like I said, but it adds up quickly and it grows fast. And soon you're cycling 5 times, you're cycling 10 times, you're cycling 14 times. When you can get into coaching and you can successfully say that my bonuses were more than my commission this week, that is a huge bonus, you guys. That is huge. So you do max out on cycles, okay? So this is where the potential comes in. So as an Emerald coach, you have the potential to cycle and you have the potential to earn a max of $250 per week just in a bonus, okay? So I laid it out here. So in order to do this, you have to have at least 3,560 on your strong leg and at least 1,780 on your weak leg. This is to equal the exact $250 maximum as an Emerald coach, okay? And this is freaking awesome, right? But this is as far as you go until you advance in rank. So Ruby, again, here is $1,000. You max out at $1,000 just in team cycle bonuses. And I've laid it out here. For strong leg, you have to have 12,400 for volume. And on your weak leg, you have to have 6,200 for volume. So, here's the deal. Like, if you guys don't sell anything and you earn simply off of commission, then you need a lot of strong coaches under you that are going to produce volume. So if you want to be a coach that simply banks off of team volume and your leg cycling and not having to work your tail off and get commission orders every week or subscription orders and make your commission, you need coaches underneath you that are going to work, okay? So here I also have Diamond laid out. So as a Diamond coach, you have you can earn up to $2,000 per week just in bonuses. And it goes all the way up to 15 star, where you max out at $12,000 a week just in bonuses. Like, that's freaking crazy. Just $12,000 a week in bonuses. This is why people as Beachbody coaches are making the Millionaires Club. So do the math. Yeah, I'm excited. So basically, you guys, kind of wrapping up the whole income portion is, I want you guys to make it a goal as a new coach to hit Emerald, okay? So that you guys are cycling, that you guys can start earning income. And as a coach and as our team, together, you guys, we can. And by simply breaking this down a little bit, I want you guys to break it down into, weekly goals. how much money do you want to earn a week? If you just want to earn $100 a week, in your Emerald, if you take $100, divide by $14, because $14 is how much you're going to make in a cycle bonus as a coach, that's going to give you how many times you need to cycle in order to reach your goal, and so on. If you're following me. Again, this is just a goal income for cycle bonuses. If you want to reach $250, got to get yourself to Ruby. Divide that by a $16 cycle bonus every time you cycle, and that's going to give you how many times you need to cycle. So you guys can figure out where your volume needs to be. And this will also help you, figure out like what you need in volume each week to earn your income goal. Once you figure out how many times, like I said, you need to cycle in order to hit your weekly financial goal, you can calculate the volume based on that. So I hope you guys got something out of this, that you at least know, okay, this is, let me go back all the way to the beginning. So you guys should now know that, okay, personal volume, when I'm looking at my downline or my Coach Online office and I see these numbers and these terms, personal volume, again, is directly what you sell as a coach, okay? Team volume, again, is what your personally sponsored coaches sell and anyone in your downline. So when your personally sponsored coaches are adding coaches and they're building, that counts towards your team volume. You have your right leg volume, you have your left leg volume. Again, these are your strong legs and your weak legs that always have to have a 2-to-1 ratio. So 200 PV or 200 volume to 100 volume in order to cycle. And this is going to help you create income. So again, volume helps you guys create income. Your team is going to help you build it. And I know it seems like a lot in the beginning as a coach. So right now, if you're a new coach, your main goal right now is to get out there, to start selling and getting income off of direct commission. So you get 25% off your sales, and get out there and get to Emerald. Get 2 coaches underneath you that want to work. That is when we can start. We can dig a little bit deeper with income. We can dig deeper with volume and cycle bonuses, but this is just the basics of it today. And I don't want to overwhelm you guys, and I probably already did. So this is one you're going to have to watch a couple times. Go through this slideshow, take some notes, reach out to your upline or myself if you have questions, because this is part of the training that does take some time to learn. And don't feel like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to be successful because I don't understand that. This is something that, even being a veteran coach into this 4 or 5 years, that I still learn, okay? I'm constantly having to do the numbers in my head, having to re-explain things, having to reconfigure my goals. And are you going to be an expert overnight? Absolutely not. But if you can remember that the higher the volume you have, that's going to equal the higher the income. And as a new coach, if you can focus on just getting sales, so if you can sell 3 challenge packs every single month, and your first month out of the gate, you can sign up 2 coaches that want to work the business with you, that is when you're going to start seeing your income rising a little bit faster. So that is our training on volume and on income and how you guys can earn. I hope you guys took some notes. Again, rewatch this if you need to. Reach out to your upline or myself if you have more questions, and we will gladly help you figure it out. So have a good day.